Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the racing capital of the world. There's nowhere else quite like it, and for fans and drivers alike, coming here is something special. You dream about it from the time that you're a kid. USF 2000, Pro Mazda, Indy Lights, they're all out on the road course, and this is something they've all been looking forward to for quite a while.
The surreal feeling you get when you walk under the bleachers going to pit lane is it's unlike anything you can feel in anywhere in the United States, at least that I've been to. And you feel it as an American, like the biggest thing that you can do is go to Indy and have a podium and be on the top.
It's all the history. I've been coming here since I was about 5 years old, and it just gives you goosebumps, and it almost makes you tear up. It's so special.
There have been a lot of legends that have raced here, and the races themselves. It's a historic place, just means a lot to race on the track where legends have driven.
Even on an off week, the Mazda road to Indy stays busy. Before the drivers and teams took to the track at IMS, there were plenty of changes in the paddock. Victor Franzoni began the year with Afterburner Autosport in USF 2000, but he starts a new season in Pro Mazda with M1. Pro Mazda driver Raul Owens made a mid-season switch within the series. He's the newest member of Team Pelfrey, leaving behind JDC Motorsports. In his place, Scott Hargrove piloted the JDC Pro Mazda machine at Indy. That's all the news heading into Indy. Anders is down on the track. He's going to take us for a lap around the speedway.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Behind me, I've got the most famous building of all in motorsports, the famous pagoda. Beneath me, I've got the Yard of Bricks. The Yard of Bricks that 98 Indianapolis 500 winners have passed en route to winning the Indy 500. But we're here for the Mazda Road to Indy, and we're on the road course, so that means we're not going to be going down that way. We're going to be going down that way in a super hard brake zone. So here we are, about to exit pit lane, and we're going to exit on the inside of turn 1 here, which is then going to blend us out onto the outside of turn 2. Now lining up for turn 3, flat out here, and you just got to visually look towards turn 4. Look towards turn 4. Where is it? Early turn in, roll tons of speed, back on power. We go, and now we got to get lined up for turn 5, 6. Got to use a little bit of curb here, little bit of curb in turn 6. And now you're onto the back straightaway. Look for our overtaking spot here. We're gonna brake as hard as we can. You gotta roll the speed in and use all the room on exit. And now we're into the back-to-back complex here with turn 8, 9, 10. So 8, gotta hug that curb, use all the curb in 8. Get it set up for turn 9, use all the curb there, get it back all the way for turn 10. Turn in early, powering through turn 10. And we're headed on towards the final overtaking spot on the track, turn 12. Getting ready, hard on the brakes, roll that speed into turn 12, back on power. Got to get it lined up for turn 13. So important to get a good run off this corner, to get a good run down the front straight. Use all that curb, use all the curb on exit. And now through turn 14, which again is completely flat out. And now these guys will be on full throttle for over 20 seconds here. Amazing chance to overtake. And as we see right here, heading towards the Yard of Bricks. And actually, I think it's fairly important to brake when you come to the Yard of Bricks. Don't tell anyone. Did I just win the I didn't win the 500. Felt like it though.
Hey guys, I'm here with Ricardo Juncos from Juncos Racing to learn a little bit about how all this started. Ricardo, I know that you were a race driver back in the days.
Yes.
And how was that transition from being a race driver all the way to being a team owner?
It was very smooth because it was through the years, through the time. But this is a racing family. I was born, my dad was to race, so this is everything we know how to do. And my dream was to become a Formula 1 driver as anybody else. So then, finally, I get my sponsors to race myself, and I start racing cars. And then I stopped working as a mechanic, but I built my own team just for us, just for me, and with my brother, and a little help from some friends, and that's how we start. We start racing Formula Renault. And
This is what you're talking about. It happened in Argentina.
Mm-hmm.
When the idea of saying, you know what, we're doing pretty good as a team. We should try in America. We should try in a bigger market.
It was not the first thinking to me. I was thinking to keep growing in Argentina. Motor racing there is very, very big, but the economy situation was very bad in Argentina. We pretty much lost everything. It was so impossible to hold the team alive, And the true story is that I was actually in shock without knowing what to do. So my grandmother gave me $300 and that's what I came here. And here I am. So it sounds crazy, but
that sounds inspiring. At the same time, I'm just thinking about all the hard work that has been since then until now.
When I came here, I will obviously try to continue my racing career as a driver. But I had absolutely no money. I didn't speak no English. I didn't know anybody. So there was not many chance to do that. September 2003, we opened Juncos Racing in the States as a go-kart team.
We've been seeing you all around on the Road 20 TV, and you always busy jumping here and there, especially now that the operation got bigger.
Yes.
You just went crazy and wanted a Indy license and a lot more to come. Are you putting all the pieces together to finally get to IndyCar?
Yes, I mean, it looks like you never know in racing. So I can imagine myself in the future and kind of present to my business plan 2-3 different options and then try to be ready. And if happen, if not, we keep waiting. I couldn't be here today and having the team we have without the crew members, without my family, without the friends we have. It's all a teamwork. I think it's the same passion that maybe an artist or Da Vinci has to paint pictures. So when you do something you love and you can make a living doing that, what else you can ask for life, you know?
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for the time, Ricardo.
Anytime. Thank you. Thank you for everybody looking here. Thank you so much, and see you in the future.
Dedication, passion, and hard work is all about Juncos Racing. Now let's see where Rob is with some drivers.
Thanks, JP. We're down here at Dawson's-on-Main in Speedway, Indiana, and I've got a couple of the young guns of the Mazda Road to Indy. I've got Ed Jones beside me here, Carlin Racing driver, race winner already this year in the Indy Lights program, and a young gun coming up in USF 2000, Kayvon Andres for Arms Up Motorsports. A quick chat with a couple of guys in the series. Ed, you both spent time in Dubai.
Yes, I was born in Dubai and I've grown up there. So for me that's home, and to find out that other people live in Dubai as well is something new. I just thought I was the only one over here. But
We were going to say you're the first person we've ever had from Dubai, and then of course Kayvon tells us that he lived there for 3 years as well. Kayvon, you've actually been all over the place. Born in Germany, and then you lived in Dubai, then you lived, I believe, in France. You said in France
2 times. Yeah.
France 2 times, and now you're here in you actually live in South Florida.
Yeah.
A lot of traveling.
Yeah. Well, all that because of racing all the time.
What drives you and your passion for motorsports?
In Dubai, my dad was a big golfer. Was playing six days a week. So I was racing the golf carts on the golf course when I was bored because I was 7. I had nothing else to do. My dad, we started talking and we said, I like this thing. Why can't we start racing something quicker? We got our own cart and started racing. Then moved to USA because we wanted to make the move to cars right away. So we came here, started Skip Barber, and second year in USF 2000.
When you're not doing school, when you're not racing, what do you do? What's your deal?
When I have time, I go jet skiing.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna start kite surfing too. Just like to be outside.
I'm seeing a trend of like high energy, kind of crazy stuff, racing, kite surfing. Is that the kind of stuff you like to do, the more extreme sports?
I like to stay in the speed, you know. I love like staying around.
Ed, would you feel the same way? I know that you said you love living down by the beach. When you're here racing, you're hanging out in Miami.
Yeah.
What's the reason for that? Is it to get away from the craziness of the sport?
I think being around all the other drivers all the time can get a bit difficult after a while.
Okay.
And a lot of them, if you do something, they'll probably judge you for it.
I was going to say it's almost like you don't want to know them, so they don't know your personal life. You get to come into the racetrack as your own man. They don't know what's going on. Is that kind of the deal?
I think it's better like that, yeah.
You like it? You know, the injury last year on the road course, obviously I think you broke your back. Tough for any driver to get past that. But then you come in the very first race we take you to is St. Petersburg, another street circuit.
You always worry a little bit because it did hurt a lot. But I'm really confident going into the next street course, and hopefully we can do the same thing.
Now we're thrilled to have you in the series, man. Looking good. Kayvon's second year in the series, but you're still young. You could easily do another year in USF 2000. Are you happy with the way things are developing for you now? Because I talk about you a lot more on the microphone because you're always up in the hunt now. That must feel great into your second season.
This winter did a lot of testing. I'm still learning the team. They're learning me, and I still gotta develop my relationship with my engineer.
Looking forward to the rest of the year?
Yeah, yes I am.
Well, that's it here from Dawson's on Main in Speedway, Indiana. Ed Jones, Kayvon Andres here with me. We got a bunch of food on the table that they delivered for us. We're gonna sit down, we're gonna have a little bit of food and enjoy ourselves. We'll send it back to you guys.
Indianapolis, the capital of Indiana and the racing capital of the world. For the month of May, Indianapolis became the epicenter of racing. 7 districts through the city feature locally owned restaurants, independent art galleries, private boutiques, and specialty shops. The Indianapolis Museum of Art is one of the oldest and largest in the United States, and the Children's Museum of Indianapolis is the largest children's museum in the world.
I've never been somewhere where everyone just talks about racing, and I think that's what's really unique here.
Nobody's in a hurry. Everyone stops to say hi. Just a lot of great people here in Indy.
When it comes to this time of the year, everybody comes together.
Something that until you see it in person it's hard to describe.
The golf course inside the track's pretty awesome. I've never seen that before.
Home to the famous Love sculpture and artist Robert Indiana, Indianapolis reminds us that we love racing.
USF 2000, Pro Mazda, and Indy Lights all raced at IMS for a total of 7 races. That's one more race than usual, and on track, there's a little extra excitement too. USF 2000 went green to begin their first of 2 races. Yufeng Lo and Luke Gavin made contact in turn 1. We resumed shortly after, and that's when the race really began. Aaron Telitz goes around the outside of his teammate Nico Jamin for the lead, and in the closing minutes, on the final restart, Telitz goes wide in turn 1. That would open the door for Jamin to take the lead back and earn the victory.
My dream is to win a race at Indianapolis, and so I did the pole and now I win the race in such a crazy race, so that's awesome.
Jake Edson finished second in race 1, but in race 2, his afternoon went south immediately. Contact on the first lap detached his front wing, sending him to the back of the field. Nico Jamin scored the sweep and kissed the bricks as points leader.
Finally I get the 2 poles and 2 victories. I'm taking the championship lead now. That was my target before the race. So big thanks to Cape Motorsport, all sponsors, my sponsors Sinova, of course Mazda and Cooper Tires.
Pro Mazda raced 3 times, with the first serving as a makeup from NOLA Motorsports Park. Got off to a shaky start for Florian Latour, a scary one too. On the first lap, Latour wound up upside down, flipping into the gravel. Florian was okay, but his day ended early. At the finish, Timothy Bure gave Weiron Tan all he could handle, but Tan emerged on the final lap with a big enough gap to take the victory.
It was one hell of a race, I'd say. If the caution didn't come out, I would try my best to defend. Our pace is not very good at the moment, but we'll definitely work hard for tomorrow.
Florian Latour fared much better in race 2. Right away, he takes the lead, but Bure battled back. He quickly stole the top spot from Florian just as the caution came out, because behind the leaders, Kevin Davis goes up and over Carlos Conde. Once we were racing again, Bure held on to the lead the rest of the way, picking up his first win in Pro Mazda with Juncos Racing.
Today is my day. Oh yeah, I'm so happy. You know, the first win in USA, for me, the first win here in Indianapolis. I'm very happy, you know, it's a dream.
Santiago Urrutia finished 3rd in the 2nd race, but in the 3rd race, Urrutia started on pole. He fended off the field on a hectic first lap and cruised home to take the checkered flag and extend his points lead with Team Pelfrey.
This is unbelievable because I was watching the 500 when I was like this. So pole, fastest lap, and then win, and we are leading the championship. So the only thing I have to say is thanks to all of my sponsors, to the team for the great job, Team Cooper Tires, Mazda also, everybody. I'm just happy, thank you.
Indy Lights with Jack Harvey finally notched his first win of 2015.
4 second places and a win. I mean, it's been a pretty good first 6 races now. Everyone knows, you know, what the month of May represents. It's not just the racing. There's a culture change. There's a special atmosphere. You know, it's contagious. It's infective. And you know, I'm just so lucky to be, you know, a winner at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Race 2 was the best yet. Pole sitter Ed Jones led the field to the green flag, but a bump alongside Jack Harvey sends Jones around. Sean Rahal moved into the lead. On lap 4, a crushing break for top contender Spencer Piggott. Side by side with Ethan Ringel, they tap, and Piggott winds up in the gravel. His race was over. On the final lap, Jack Harvey was running in 2nd. Harvey slowed rapidly in the final corners, letting R.C. Enerson and Max Chilton by for second and third. All of this happened behind the winner. For the first time, Sean Rahal wins in Indy Lights with 8-Star Motorsports.
Really just got to thank advisors, Basseg, Mazda Road to Indy. I mean, they put together a lovely program for us to come and race. Indy Lights, Cooper Tires. Everyone making this race happen is really what makes it what it is. You know, winning here at Indy is one thing, but winning in this series is just another.
This is it for this weekend here in Indianapolis. Next up, we switch things around.
That's right, we've already got the road course out of the way. Next, we go to Lucas Oil Raceway for USF 2000 and Pro Mazda on the short track oval, and then the big boys. Indy Lights coming right back here on the oval. We're done for now. We'll see you then.